Hello everyone, this is a follow-up video to Customer Experience Essential. Today we're going to look at from an admin perspective, how do you configure the feature in Control Hub. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So I am logged into my test org here, and when the feature is enabled, you will have an option on the left pane here or panel, Customer Experience. At the top, you have the overview followed by queue, supervisor, and agents. So first we're going to look at how a user can be licensed for customer experience, right? So if we go to users, and I have few test users here, I'm going to first bring up one that's already licensed. So I'm going to go to agent one. If we go down here, you can see this user already has customer experience essential license. So I'm going to pick up another user, agent 3, and then go to edit license. WebEx calling is mandatory for this functionality to be enabled. If you do not have WebEx calling, when you turn on customer experience license, WebEx calling will also get enabled. In this case, the user already has WebEx calling license. I'm going to go to customer experience and turn on the essential license. Go ahead and save this one. So this user now has the experience license, customer experience license, and it's reflected on the main page here. Next, we're going to go to the configuration piece. We're going to create a new queue. There are a couple of test queues, but I'll go ahead and create a new one here. The location site, the queue can be configured on any site, and the agent can be part of the same site or different site within your organization. The queue name, and what will be the number customers will call to reach the queue. And most of the configuration I'm going to leave it as default, and we'll have another video that goes into each one of these functions and why it will be used. So I'm going to leave everything as default. The quick ones I'll call out here is maximum number of calls in the queue that you want to handle. um, I'm going to select the DID number that will be used when if there is a caller ID or incoming call. Next one is the standard set for any contact center, how the calls will be routed, circular, top down, longest idle, and there's tip here or tooltip here that tells you exactly what it is. You can also have skills based routing if you want to have skills based routing as well. In this case, I'm going to leave it as priority based. I'm going to go next. Screen pop, I will show another example for this, but if you do want to have screen pop, you can turn it on and fill out the additional parameters that's required. For now, I'm going to keep it off. And then what is the overflow treatment? When the queue is full, what do you want to do, right? Those settings are here. Transfer, perform busy treatment, enable overflow after X minutes. So there are a few additional functionalities that you can perform when the queue is full. If you want to have a welcome message, you can play a welcome message, or if you want to have custom greeting, you can do that. You can also have estimated wait time for people waiting in the queue. A comfort message that could be played periodically. You can bypass comfort message if you want, hold music, call whisper. So those are all settings. I'm going to go with the default one here as well. And then here is where you will select the agents, and you can drop down here any user that already has the essentials tab or essentials note here already has a required license. If you do not have an essential license, it will prompt you to assign the license for that user. So I'm going to select supervisor 2, and I'm going to also select agent 3. Allow agents to join and join the queue. If an agent is part of multiple queues, then you can provide the user or the agent to join or unjoin on their own. Allow agents to add on active calls to take additional calls. Again, these are all options that you can customize. So you can see supervisor 2 does not have the essential license, so it doesn't have the label here. Agent 3 has the essential license. I'm going to click next. Now the license is getting assigned to supervisor 2. That's the reason the second pop-up has come here, assign license. And then this is a summary once the queue gets created. Basic information here: what is the queue name, which site is associated, what is the phone number, internal, and also the DID number, queue caller ID, and the language, and who are the agents, part of this queue, call routing. What is the call routing? Is it circular or skill based or priority based? And then the queue settings, it also listed here. It's quick reference. You can look at that for any future changes if you need to make. I'm going to click create. So the key or the queue is automatically created. Now I'm going to show you, so on the top level, overview queue and the supervisor, right? So I already have another supervisor, but I'm going to create one new supervisor 2, and you have to assign the agents to the supervisor as who, which agents the supervisor will monitor, right? So you could pick any one, agent 1, we'll do agent 2, agent 3, and click next. So this supervisor 2 is going to monitor all the 3 agents, and then add supervisor. So the previous one, right, I had supervisor 1 here. So this supervisor has 2 agents assigned to them. So it should expand, yeah, agent 1 and 2. And you also have an option here, if you want to let's see, unassign the agent as well, right? You can do that from here. And then on the agents tab here, it's going to list all the agents and which queue they are part of, and then their phone number, and then the extension number, and tells you whether they have joined or unjoined any queues. That information is provided as well. So this is pretty much what you would have to do from a queue or control hub perspective. I'll quickly cover the call pop-up scenario as well that you might be interested in configuring. So once the queue is configured, you can go back and edit all the configuration that's needed. In this case, I want to bring up the call pop or screen pop. So you could have a custom site that you want to bring up, and then the parameters that you want it to be populated is listed here as well. In this case, I have some listed here, and if you need to know the format and the other additional parameters, there is a help article here that talks about the default values that you can pull from the system, like the calling number, called number. Let's see here what else you can do right here, right? So these are the parameters that is available that you could configure, and once it's configured, screen pop-up will show those parameters, and I will show you when we go through the agent flow as well. And right now you can see there are multiple queues, multiple agent, multiple supervisors. And I will go ahead and stop this video. In the next one, we will look at the flow from a supervisor perspective and also from an agent perspective.